Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018. In this video, I'm going to be recapping last night's National League wildcard game between the Chicago Cubs and the Colorado Rockies, and previewing tonight's American League wildcard game, as the New York Yankees will be hosting the Oakland Athletics. So without further ado, let's go to the pre-planned slideshow I have for you all in this video, and we will get to the recap of last night's game and previewing tonight's American League game. It took 13 innings for the Rockies to win last night's ball game, but they were able to be the winners of the 2018 National League wildcard game, as they will move on to play the Milwaukee Brewers tomorrow night in the National League Divisional Series. The final score was 2-1 in 13 innings, as there were a lot of exciting plays during the game. Not that much scoring, but there were a lot of defensive plays from both the Cubs and the Rockies. So let's read the article together. Tony Walters wilted and waited as the NL wildcard game went deep into Tuesday night. He stretched a couple of times and tried to figure out when he might get a chance to play. Mr. Walters, the hero of this game for Colorado, hit the tie-breaking single with 2 outs in the top of the 13th inning at Wrigley Field, as they were able to outduel the Chicago Cubs. Once again, final score of 2-1. This was the longest winner-go-home postseason game in Major League history. We've had a lot of these games over time. Most recently, when the wild card game first started in 2012. We've had this game now for about, I would say, counting the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 6 years. So in 6 years total, for the lengthy amount of this game, which this game lasted almost 5 hours last night, you could tell that we were going to have a marathon. Once the Cubs tied the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now we'll recap how that happened. Now, this hero from Colorado, let's talk about him. He was claimed from the Cleveland Indians 2 years ago, entered as part of a double switch in the bottom of the 12th. The reserve catcher came up with Butters in the corners and drove in the Trevor Story with the 2-strike hit back up the middle of losing pitcher Kyle Hendricks. There were 40,000 people at Wrigley Field who were completely silenced. After playing its third big game over 3 days in 3 different cities, the Colorado Rockies now will head to Milwaukee tomorrow night to take on the best team in the National League record-wise, the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm trying to see if I can get you the right, just to get you more information here. All right, Scott Oberg, 6th Colorado pitcher, Fan Bryant for the final out on the 12th, and they struck out the side in the 13th to end the longest postseason game at the landmark known as Wrigley Field. Terrence Gord tried to sell that was he was hit by a pitch. He was sent back to the plate. Replay review confirmed the initial call. I gotta show you something important here, and this is the photo of the night. And I was planning this video out this morning, and I knew I was gonna have this picture ready today. Albert Hamora Jr. struck out swinging for the final out in that 12th inning. Walters ran out and grabbed Oberg. They were soon joined by the rest of the excited Rockies in a rock-piling purple mob near the mound. Oh, my bad. That's not the photo I was talking about. There's another picture I wanted to show you. All right. In total, the game did last almost 5 hours. Time played was 4 hours and 55 minutes. This game had everything you wanted. Well, no home runs, but In terms of defensive plays, and if you're a big fan of that in baseball, you pretty much got a majority of it for the entire evening. All right. This is what I was thinking of, the photo I wanted to show you all. Rockies third baseman Nolan Arenado exchanged a memorable hug with Javier Baez after he tagged the excitable Cubs star in the 11th inning. So I'm going to show you the picture right now. I have it here on my phone. And literally when this first happened last night, everybody on Twitter, and I was saying to myself, oh, people are going to call this out on Twitter if the guy from Vasgersian was calling the game last night, Matt Vasgersian. So he was bringing this up during the broadcast. And I was like, okay, this is going to become a meme. And everybody's still talking about this picture. Even on Good Morning America, they were talking about it. Let's go back. So the Rockies have moved on to the divisional series for the first time in almost 10 years. The Rockies lost to the Diamondbacks in last year's wild card game. The Cubs' 3-year-in-a-row streak of making it to the National League Championship Series is over, now that their season is completely done. Chicago finished up with 6 hits and left 10 runners on base after managing only 3 hits in Monday's 3-1 home loss to the Milwaukee Brewers. Chicago used 23 players in the game on Monday, of course. So I'm not really going to go more in depth with you guys, but I will recap the scoring for basic people here because it'll just be too confusing to discuss reading the article fully. But here's how the scoring first happened. Top of the first, Nolan Arenado was able to get a sac fly off the starting pitcher for the Cubs, John Lester. Then later on in this game, in the bottom of the 8th inning, Gore, who had a base hit to lead off that inning, was able to steal second base. Javier Baez was able to get his own RBI double. So pretty incredible. In that 8th inning, Chicago was able to get 2 doubles in 1 inning. And then, of course, Mr. Walters, the hero for the Colorado Rockies, and thus making them move on to the National League Divisional Series. So the National League picture is now set completely with the Brewers taking on the Colorado Rockies and the second-seeded Atlanta Braves taking on the third-seeded Los Angeles Dodgers. American League still has to be determined tonight. We know for a fact that Houston will be playing Cleveland, but we do not know who's playing the Boston Red Sox. Will it be the New York Yankees tonight, or will it be the Oakland A's? Starting pitcher tonight for the Oakland Athletics will be Liam Hendricks. The A's have confirmed they want this to be a bullpen game. Hendricks is 0-1, 24 innings pitched, 4.13 ERA, so it's pretty high. 22 strikeouts, 10 walks. For the Yankees, they will go with their starting pitcher from last year's wild card game, Luis Severino, who pitched against the Minnesota Twins last year at Yankee Stadium. He's almost recorded 200 innings pitched, 3.39 ERA, 220 strikeouts, and 46 walks given up. The Yankees could have went with Masahiro Tanaka. Personally, I wanted J.A. Happ to start because if the Yankees do win, I would rather have Severino pitch Game 1 or Game 2 of the divisional series, but that's just my personal preference if that does happen. Game will be at 8 o'clock tonight on TBS. Last thing I'm going to bring up before I wrap up this video. Let's recap the meetings between both teams. The Yankees, back in May, were able to take 2 out of 3 at Yankee Stadium between May 11th and May 13th. And then just last month at Oakland. The Athletics took 2 out of 3 against the Yankees between that stretch of September 3rd and September 5th. So with that being all done, that's going to wrap up this video for today. I will be back tomorrow, and I should be back in front of my computer tomorrow, or whatever I can do tomorrow, because today was just stressful with me going to my doctor, and this is the only way I can get a video out today. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you are going to the Yankee Stadium tonight, enjoy the game. I know I'll be watching on TBS, so hopefully it'll be a fun, exciting game, and let's go Yankees. Because my Yankees better win tonight, because I don't know if I can go on covering the postseason if I at least do not know if they make the divisional series. So until the next one, please take care.